Alright, two things that I've always considered really silly that are related, and that I just sort of had a epiphany that one of the authors from This Explains Everything, I just realized he would not agree with me about finding these two things silly. So it's already in you go to my page, you go to, I think on the home page I have a playlist, This Explains Everything Mind, and so it's going to be one of those. Timothy Wilson, We Are What We Do. So I've already read that, so I'm not going to read that to you again, but I'm going to open it up so I can cite it. Okay. So I was thinking about, shit, I don't remember what I was thinking about. Maybe it'll come back to me. Here are the two things that I've always found silly. One, in TV shows where there is a character who has amnesia, and then we discover in later episodes or later in the movie that this character was kind of an asshole, or either he acted completely differently or was actually immoral or evil or something. And I never understood that. Just because you don't have your memories, that doesn't mean that your personality would change, I thought. And then the other thing I always found silly is when people say, when the fact that we're wired to think that, like, if we don't remember doing something, then we're not responsible for it. And we see that instinct if someone was really drunk and they are called out for something, something that they might continuously say is, I don't even remember doing that. Now, there's some logical value to that, to letting the other person know, but sometimes it's also said as, I don't even remember doing that. I'm not responsible for that. And I thought that was silly, because what does memory have to do with whether that brain produced that action and would produce in the future? But actually it has a lot to do with it. There's this one mechanism in the mind where we try to stay consistent with our past behaviors. So that's one thing. And then the second thing is what I read in the other video, we are what we do. We infer, so, but it is, he said, but it turns out that we don't just use our behavior to reveal our dispositions. We infer dispositions that weren't there before. Often our behavior is shaped by subtle pressures around us, but we fail to recognize those pressures. Thus, we mistakenly believe that our behavior emanated from some inner disposition. This is right, and this is called self-perception theory. So your actions are a part of your sense of your attitudes and dispositions, which can influence your actions in the future. I wish I could remember what I was thinking about that made me think of this chapter. But that's a pretty important thing. I don't know how it could be used, but any political extremist, you wipe their memory of their own beliefs, and then you just ask them the questions again, and you might get wildly different answers, because part of the answering process involves checking their records. And if there are no records, the process will be different.